Hi, this is Joy. I am going to take this time before I start my podcast to uh, say how thrilled I am to have known Professor Gomez for the last 20 weeks. I have come to understand more about this fabulous technology of the computers and the internet, and under his auspices and patient teaching, I am much more confident in what I learned over 20 years ago when computers first came into our homes. And so, without further ado, I hate this, but here's my podcast. Why are computers important to me? Well, in our first unit together 20 weeks ago, I have come to appreciate the need for computers in our modern world more than ever. I have been able to communicate instantly with my professors and family and friends about the ongoing struggles of my husband's surgical needs. Um, when in the past that would have been meant writing weekly letters to families long distance and things like that, or phone calls to so many people who needed to know what was going on um, as it happened. Emails have made letter writing easier and faster. It frees up the phone for communications between immediate families who cannot get to the computer, such as Harry's Uncle Mark, who is an over-the-road truck driver. But even in that sense, a cell phone has instant text messaging. It's amazing how that technology has permeated into our everyday lives. In week 2, the unit brought us more intimate with the machines that we use every day in our homes and in our careers at the office or even in a fast food restaurant. We learned about technical jargon and what this part of the computer does and how does it affect that part and what it does fundamentally. And what goes on behind the scenes, so to speak, that we often take for granted, such as the speed at which all that data is transformed into and converted into information which we see on our screens. Um, it's almost instantaneous that the inquiries that we are searching for are brought up on our screens, our monitors, and we have a grasp at how words and images magically appear almost effortlessly, unless you have really slow internet speeds. And that would mean going to a card catalog, in a library would probably be faster. But even then, it's a marvel at how we have come from the slow dial-up to the fast, high speeds and fiber optic, and it's. I even saw. I'm taking a diversion from the script here, but I even did some research how the internet is riding on our power lines, so that all you have to do is plug a router into the electrical outlet, and boom, you have instant internet. That's fascinating, and I wonder if that would be taken in every state. But I digress. So, anyways, let's go back to the script. We have um, um, knowledge now of how the components inside the computer, this chip works with that chip, or how it routes from this plug-in in the front of our computer, this port, and how it has to be rerouted to that part of the computer. It's just so fascinating, and it does it like that. It's amazing. Um, and all this is going on inside this box that's no bigger than a present that you get at Christmas time or on your birthday or some other special occasion. In our third week, we have an understanding of the inner workings of the computer, and we learn how to analyze websites for the reliability and credibility of the information that we research. We learn what to look for, such as biases, advertisements, an agenda, or are they trying to sell us something, or is the information just going to be about what we're searching for? We want to know that when we speak about something, that it's going to be factual and that our opinions are going to be credible and reliable and verifiable. Um, we learned to use the internet wisely when doing research, and it helped us to grow in that confidence and the capability at which we use our computers, and that will ultimately aid in our careers. Chapter 4 explained the differences between application software and system software. Um, Application software allows us to do the things we do on the computer, while system software helps to run the computer and to coordinate the instructions between the application software and the computer's hardware devices. This comes from the splash page on our unit reading for the week in chapter 4. And everything was outlined in this education that we received. We taught each other, and so it allows us to be familiar with this productivity software and the application we use, to the entertainment software that we use, so we can choose, what best to stream our video and music from the computer on. We know that software refers to a set of instructions that tells our computers what to do. While knowing how software works is important in and of itself, knowing how to care for this marvelous machine is just as important. We discussed in Chapter 5 how to maintain our computers, and it's vital to clean the computer and perform the maintenance on it like any other machine. Following that knowledge is maintaining the computer is the equal importance we put on whether to upgrade, to stay on top of the innovations in the industry, or to purchase new, or even if you want to use a refurbished computer. And then we learned that we can set our own specification, customize this machine, that it's going to benefit us and suit the needs that we want from the computer, so it will perform as we want it to. We discussed whether to stay green. We discussed how to recycle, what parts should we give up, and just like if we should switch out our peripherals, and whether we should get this device instead of that device, what works well, what doesn't work well. Networking is an important part of any home or business setting, and that's where those decisions come in. In Chapter 7, we talked about how to choose what would work in that network, from the network hub itself to the devices such as the even a flash drive, to a modem like this one. And we learned how to protect our networks from war drivers, those who would ride our Wi-Fi signal and not pay for the service, and how dangerous that could be to the internet account. Now, taking another sidetrack, in the learning space activities, the soundbite on the war driver had it imply that Anonymous were hackers and terrorists in the way they chose to present that information. I disagree with that, because living in a rural setting and having to rely on satellite signals for my internet and a limited data cap, I would have to take my computer and set it up and use a Wi-Fi, here it looks like a flash drive, but this is a Wi-Fi antenna, so that I could find a signal and run my computer while I was in my car. In the first part of the 20 weeks that I've been with Professor Gomez, we were homeless for about a month there. And I literally set up my big desktop computer in my car, and I plugged this little device in, and bingo bango, I had Wi-Fi signal, and I was able to do my work. Um, should a company go wireless? Should a homeowner who has a private internet account be wireless, or should it be hardwire? These are decisions that we learned what would best suit our needs when we went into Chapter 7. At home, with all the personal devices such as the smartphone, the iPads, the Kindles, and all the gaming consoles that require access to the internet, we learned what were some of the best networking hubs on the market for those needs. And in our final week, when we had to do our final project, part of it was uh, departmentalizing the mock up company and knowing how to safely network the computers in the company, and taking into account security and so forth. And we have come a long way in knowing uh, whether Wi-Fi should be allowed, what the dangers of that is in a accounting firm or any kind of business, and security issues and things like that. And we've learned that not everything can be Wi-Fi. Not everything can be allowed in these situations because of the risks that it poses, such as identity theft and things like that, and where security is very, very, very real and integral to businesses such as the mock-up company. Um, I have an appreciation for the way programming has um, matured, the sophistication in how we program a computer now. I entered the field in the pioneer years, in the mid 1980s, when the PC came into the home, and I'm amazed at how it has advanced in such a short time. I look forward to the future and what it brings. I'm eager to seeing interactive 3D, possibly 4D, smell-o-vision. Who knows? We'll see. But it has been an extreme, eye-opening, and knowledgeable experience in this class, and I look forward to my other IT classes at Kaplan. And I appreciate your time, Professor Gus, and your patience in all this time. 20 weeks. I feel like I'm your family. Take care, and thank you for all that you have done in bringing me this far in my career. Thank you.